everyone, and welcome to Go Watch a Movie, episode 74. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
Today, the conversation continues with a little bit more horror. Because, is it considered a horror?
I think it's more suspense thriller.
Suspense thriller? Greta. This was a fun one, but we'll get to that after a little bit of entertainment news. I'm not going to pussyfoot around here, and I know that's an old term, pussyfoot, but live action Gundam movie is happening.
Right on.
Underway. It's been written right now. I am super excited for that. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Kind of saw it coming because they've been popping up in like two different movies. Was it Pacific Rim and what was the other one?
The one you hated.
Oh, which one was that?
I just went blank for some reason.
Transformers?
No, the one with the kid, Thundercat symbol.
Thundercat.
You know it. The Thundercat symbol on his belt. Can't believe I just went blank.
Oh, okay. I think I know the one you're talking about.
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. Yes.
It sucks getting old.
Ain't that the truth? But yeah, so I am super, super excited by that because, I mean, I guess it'll depend. We talked about this before, I believe, but it'll depend on what story they draw from. There's so many Gundam series out there.
They're probably going to try to do something original, though. They're going to just use that as like a jumping board or something. You know, it's going to be their own interpretation of it, which may hurt it. Cause that's what they do in every movie. It's like an adaptation from an anime.
That's true. So, instead of using the storyboard written out for them, the successful one.
Right. I hope there's just somebody in it that screams, you know, it's a Gundam.
Oh, they have to.
I'll be happy.
They have to. Moving on, old Schwarzenegger. I'm back. Arnold has brought up the King Conan delays, which I didn't even know was happening. But apparently King Conan has been in the works for some time, and he says it's going to happen. He's let's see here. King Conan's like, he says Conan is like 70 years old and disgusted by just sitting on the throne and being a king, and something happens after that. That's a quote from Arnold.
Okay.
King Conan is pissed. He's just sitting there. He's disgusted. But yeah, that's coming. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to the Terminator Dark Fate that's coming out. It's odd to still be excited about Arnold Schwarzenegger movies in 2019.
Right.
But
it is weird, but it's still going to be entertaining, I think.
Yeah, he's just one of those figures that is just very entertaining. Last but not least, and this made me sad, Robert Downey Jr., Sherlock Holmes 3 gets delayed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. A little sad because I really enjoyed the first two. The Sherlock movies, they were done extremely well. But it's being pushed to December 22nd, 2021. That's
let's hope it's delayed for a good reason, and that's going to make the movie better, because we'd hate to have something just rushed out that didn't, live up to the hype of the first two.
Yeah, that is very true. I don't know. Like, we need to do like the best Sherlock episode. There's been so many, but of course it'll come down to Downey Jr. probably and Cumberbatch. But
exactly. Yep, you are right there.
But still, because old Hackers dude, I like his, but he's not the best Sherlock. It's just a very different interpretation, I guess. But that'll bring us to one of my favorite segments on the show, trailers. You want to go first or me, sir?
Sure, I'll go.
All right.
I got two. This first one's an easy one. It's the second trailer from Hellboy. Okay. I think they did a lot better with this one than that first one. Was kind of a shock. I don't know if a lot of other people felt the same way about that first trailer. It was just weird and not what they expected from it. Maybe it didn't really get them that excited about the movie, but I think this one does a lot better job.
You and me both.
Of getting people interested and wanting to draw them in like a trailer is supposed to. So that's my first one. My second one is called Stray, and I think this one it's sci-fi. Maybe I don't know if it's horror or not. I think it's just sci-fi basically, and I'm always a sucker for sci-fi. This one I think is going to do it right. It looks like it almost might be anime inspired, but not really. Like I've never heard of it if it is, but it has elements in it that are kind of reminiscent of anime. So that's exciting. Basically about a woman who dies in these mysterious circumstances. She's like frozen in some kind of supernatural pose or something, and these investigators are trying to figure out what happens. And the daughter goes to see her because she really wants to see her mom's body after she dies. And there's like some kind of a weird reaction spiritually between them, and there's like all this glowing light in the air and ripples and stuff. And then the grandmom is like, "You are not a normal person." So it's like, duh, after that. But then it just goes into a big mystery about what's really going on. Who are these people? There's a guy who shows up and he's like kind of not necessarily stalking, but trying to get to the girl before the investigators or something. It just looks really interesting, and I'm excited to see something that looks semi-original, at the same time familiar.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. We're going to have to check that one out because I have not seen or heard of that one. Stray. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'm going to break my golden rule and go with the trailer for Brightburn. There was a second one released today. Right. And boy, oh boy, did it make me so happy. Because I just normally don't watch the trailers after the first one and the teaser because they just show too much of the movie, which they probably did, but I wanted to know more of, the route they were going with and yeah, it works for me. I am just super, super excited for this. Don't know if you guys know the premise of that. Oh, go ahead.
I thought the first one, got me interested. I like the first trailer. I haven't watched the second one yet, so should I watch it, or am I going to have the movie ruined for me?
No, watch it. I mean, it's more of showing like him being bullied and just what kind of creates this new bizarro Superman. But yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a cautionary tale against bullying. That very well could be it. It's just one scene of bullying, so I don't know if that's going to be like the major theme, if there'll be multiple of that. Because right after they show him getting bullied, they show him like the coach. They're in PE. The kids push him down. The coach forces one of the other kids to pick him up and help him up, and he crushes her hand right then and there. So I don't know how far into bullying they're gonna go into, but yeah, it looks like I'm so ready for that movie. And I know all the naysayers. It's just the evil Superman, but it has my interest peaked 100%. But yeah, that'll bring us to the movie, Greta. This one is a 2019 film starring, I can't ever pronounce her name right.
Chloe?
Is it Chloe?
I think it's Chloe. Chloe Grace.
Chloe Grace. The French lady. I didn't have it pulled up in front of me. I apologize.
French lady was Isabelle Hubbard. I think that's her name. That plays Greta.
Yes, plays Greta. And is anyone else super important? Everyone's important, of course. Okay, we'll go with that. Actually, this came out in 2019. And I'll go ahead and get the Rotten Tomatoes score out of the way. This one rated on Rotten Tomatoes 54% rotten and a audience score of 51%.
Yeah, not great, but still not exactly horrible.
Yeah. synopsis. I'll go right off Rotten Tomatoes since I'm already here. A sweet, naive young woman trying to make her own way into New York. Frances, Chloe Grace Moretz, doesn't think twice about returning the handbag she finds on the subway to its rightful owner. The owner is Greta Isabel Hubbard, an eccentric French piano teacher with a love of classic music and aching loneliness. They go into how she lost her mother and all that stuff, and how Greta is widowed. They become best friends, but Greta maternal charms begin to dissolve and grow increasingly disturbing.
I did not know she was supposed to be a piano teacher.
I did not know that either.
They don't really represent that in the movie at all, but okay.
No, they don't. Maybe the Rotten Tomato folks knew something we didn't. Zoe Austin makes an appearance in this, who was in last week's episode.
Yes.
The Velvet Buzzsaw.
She was a very, very short appearance, though.
Yes. Yeah.
But she did a good job with her part, so.
Yeah, cause I thought for sure she was British, and she still could be. I'm not sure. But she was doing a decent American accent in this, if she's not, because in Velvet Buzzsaw, wasn't she British? Am I wrong on that?
I think she was just using that snooty, voice that may have sounded. I'm sorry, British people. I just called you guys snooty. But, she was using that voice that makes her sound like she's from somewhere else, but it might just be like a snoot. Kind of like, what's her face? What's the lady that cooks? Martha what?
Martha Stewart?
Yeah, then she kind of used like an accent, but she's not really from anywhere but here.
Yeah, I guess. And then, yeah. And then, of course, Lindsay Lohan went British for a while and all that stuff.
It's Lindsay, though.
Yeah. So that is Greta, the synopsis, and it is. What do you think of the way this was filmed? Like some scenes between Frances and Erica, her friend, seemed, I don't know, not well, like not good. I don't know if you can
just say bad.
I'm trying not to be a jerk.
Try not to be mean. It's okay to be a jerk sometimes.
They just like the acting wasn't there, but in other scenes, like they're both amazing. But some of their
as far as like, I think the thing that saves this movie is definitely Greta's character. Mm-hmm. I don't think like. I'll say Chloe because I don't want to. It just seems weird to call her by her the name of her character to me. But like Chloe, just like didn't like she. She can act. She's been around forever.
Oh yeah, God,
she can do a good job, and she did a decent job as playing this naive, sweet, kid that gets a little upset every once in a while because somebody's messing with her. But for the most part, she just didn't. She wasn't given, I think, a script that let her shine, or she wasn't given direction that would. Show her range. It was more just be like the sweet, innocent victim thing, the entire time, which is kind of boring. I mean, it wasn't really exciting to watch. And her friend, who was kind of more the bad girl or whatever, it was, their conversations just weren't all that interesting. It was just what you would expect. There was nothing great about watching those two interact.
Exactly. Maybe that's what I was feeling.
That wasn't what was good about. Well, if there is anything good about the movie, that's not what is good about the movie. They just didn't bring anything to the table. It was just a boring kind of. And maybe it was supposed to be. So there was some contrast between that and other characters' relationships. I don't know, but it just wasn't a treat to watch. I mean, you could have watched it was like for a made-for-TV movie.
Yeah. That's what I was. Yeah, that's the perfect way to describe it.
Instead of something for the big screen, but
their scenes were that, yeah. But yeah, you talked about her filmography, talking about Let Me In, Kick-Ass, Carrie. She's in The Fifth Wave, which I enjoyed. A lot of people didn't. She's been Kick-Ass 2, of course. She's just in a lot of good stuff and does extremely well.
And she started at a really, really young age, and she hasn't fallen into that trap that a lot of child actors fall into.
Drug, sex, and rock and roll?
Basically. So, I mean, she's a professional, so you can't really knock her overall performance because she's good at what she does.
Agreed. But yeah, that was just something that caught me off guard, and it just didn't sit right with me in this movie. But both of them, like I said, both of them separately seemed to do well. Like when Chloe was in Jeopardy, she did that just fine. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and say this, though. And this may be sexist or, well, I don't know, not PC. But all of you ladies out there, learn how to throat punch. Because that's what all this needed. Would have ended this movie. A nice throat punch to that old lady when she got all creepy.
And I guess I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
It's kind of a weird thing to say, but yeah, I'm sure every father is probably like, yeah, my daughter needs to know how to punch just to protect herself.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But I could see what you're saying.
There was only one instance in the film where she actually tried to fight back, and it was a heck of an attempt. Mm-hmm. But like there were so many opportunities where she could have, and I don't know the strength of this old lady, but
old people are stronger than they look. You think they're weak because they're old, but then they like get this little like kung fu grip on you, and there's nothing you can do.
For sure. It just seemed like that would have been a nice settler. Did you have any standout characters in this? You said Greta earlier, but
yeah, Greta's pretty much a standout character. I loved Steven was in it. I can't remember. I don't know what the character's name was. He was a private investigator at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
the guy that was from oh crap, there goes my mind. V for Vendetta. He's been in a lot of different stuff.
Yes,
but I loved his character. I think I just like him from that movie. That's probably why I like seeing him again. And he just kind of pops up out of nowhere too. He's not like he was introduced or anything. He's just like poof, there he is. You're like, oh my god, I know him.
He doesn't last long.
Yeah, but his scene was probably, I think we're jumping way ahead, but I can't help but say it, but his scenes with Greta were probably my favorite in the movie because that was the most amazing, that like maybe like not jump, but I like perked up in my seat because I was so excited to see that, which is a weird thing to say. But Greta dancing around, in her house, like no shoes on, like just
stockings, being quiet.
Yeah, just like that was so perfectly, like I don't even know how to describe that. That was such a great scene. It caught me off guard, and I want to like give it all away and ruin it.
It was such a 180 from what we had saw of that character before. Mm-hmm. So I agree.
It was so amazing. It like perked me up. I was so excited for that. Which is a weird thing to say when you finally see the movie. And you're like, why would you like that? It was just so fun. It was like it caught your attention. It was like, what in the heck is happening right now? Like, oh my god, and it does. So yeah.
Yeah, agree. He did a decent job for what they gave him. I mean, he didn't last long, like we said, but
he figured it out. Though he did figure it out, so he was
very quickly. That's true. Yeah. First, they were doing a weird thing with the dad, and I didn't know if it was going to play into anything. Where they weren't showing his face, like the first two major scenes that he did, and I was like, "Oh, what are they doing here? Is there some kind of, is he pissed at his daughter, or
maybe they were doing that because they were trying to show the rift between the daughter and the dad, or something? I don't know.
Yeah,
because there's definitely a rift. So that's my reasoning behind it.
Let's go with that. Yeah, I liked her, and then I actually liked Chloe's roommate. Mm-hmm. Erica, I thought she was street smart. Of course, I guess living in New York will do that to you. No offense to New Yorkers, but you got to kind of be on your toes. From what I hear, I've never been. Everything I've read about and seen has said, you have to be on your toes. You have to constantly be vigilant, and trust issues, are almost not there.
I really like the movie Taxi Driver, so I have it ingrained in my head that's what New York is like. And even though I know it's not like that now, it had a complete makeover. But I'm thinking everybody's either a pimp or a prostitute or some crazy person with mental issues who's going to shoot you if you get too close. It's sorry, but that's just my mental perception of it because I love Taxi Driver. So,
but. He's gonna shoot you. But yeah, I enjoyed her character, and the dad, like the way things turn out, like.
I don't understand why he disappeared at the end, basically.
Yeah.
I think he would be more like her friend Erica was right there.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's the reason why, it ends the way it ends. But the dad just kind of disappeared after a point. It was weird.
And why go to a private investigator and not the cops or the FBI? Because he seemed like a very powerful dude, like, money wise and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then he just boop.
It's gone, yeah.
But we're jumping all over the place. So Greta, this kindly old French lady, happens to leave purses around, all around. Well, I guess on subways in New York, for people to, I'm assuming, daughter figures to get, and bring them back to her house. And she develops a relationship with them, and eventually traps them and loves them to death, kind of like Elmira from Tiny Toons. But so that's her deal, and she traps our Francis in this kind of like I guess I was gonna try and compare it to Hansel and Gretel, but I guess it's not like. Well, yeah, I guess it's the breadcrumbs back to that house, or. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well, yeah.
Some similarities.
Here's a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you think that Greta was genuinely looking for love and was just lonely, and that because people would reject her, she would turn into basically a serial killer, or think she was just a serial killer that was using that as bait to get people because she knew they were going to reject her so she could kill them?
She had some definite serial killer traits, because she was way too ready when Mr. Private Investigator showed up to quickly, sneak down there and do what she did to him. But I think she genuinely was lonely to the point of psychotic. Like it was so ingrained in her head that she needed something and somebody to love on that it broke her. And then maybe that could have been what we found out about her daughter.
Yeah, because she was doing that to her daughter before.
True.
Like, because her daughter was there, and then she was like over loving her daughter, or whatever you want to call it.
Because she didn't want her to leave, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So,
and like, she wanted to love them to death. And then when they would reject her, that's when that, that serial killer switch just flipped on. Like, oh, you don't want me? Well, then no one will have you.
Right. Yeah, I think she was crazy from the start. But you know what I mean? Like, there's no like she was normal, and then her daughter wanted to leave, so then she became lonely and sad or whatever. I think she was just messed up from the start, and then the serial, who knew, probably. And then the serial killing stuff just became natural because it was like, what else is going to happen at that point? People aren't going to want to stay. You're not going to have a choice. If you can't keep them, you're going to have to kill them. Yeah. She can't let them go. So
it's like started with locking them up, and then she realized, hey, I can't let them go, so kill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. Why am I trying to find goodness in a serial killer?
I don't know.
But her whole plan is flawed anyway, because once again, it's going to sound like I'm dissing New York City, but if you leave a purse on a subway bench with the intent of, hey, I saw that girl over there who I want to kidnap and kill, there's no guarantee that person is going to get that.
You know what, though? That's why they call it fishing and not catching, because you never know what you're going to get.
That's true.
She's just throwing bait out there. She was hopeful.
But imagine, like, some thieves found that, and they found all that money in there, and they're like, oh, well, we're going to fucking go rob this old lady,
That's the last person you want to rob. She's going to dance around her little house and do who knows what with you.
Do you have children?
I think she was looking for a particular type of person. The whole purse thing was the first step. So she got the kind-hearted person so that she could try to manipulate, and get sympathy from them, have them try to stick around with her. And then she also was looking for somebody who was missing somebody in their life. So maybe she didn't have somebody that would be looking for them if they did come up missing. So I think it was all these premeditated steps to get the perfect person to try to be her, whatever it was she was looking for.
I like that.
I think she was a lot. I don't think it was just like happenstance. I think she was a lot smarter than.
But she was let down.
Because you can tell, like even from watching her, every step she takes, she's just like,
Just
you know,
kind of thought out.
Yeah, thought out to keep him in the whole dog thing, and
But the thing that makes me think that she was lonely was the church thing. Mm-hmm. Like, because she still has some kind of longing for her husband.
You know what though? It could have been her husband or her daughter or whatever. Maybe remorse from killing somebody. I don't know. But even if you're lonely, you can go out and make a friend. And like an old lady can go out, and join any little club or something. You know what I mean? You don't have to start killing folks and then like kind of get them trapped in your house somewhere. It's like that's kind of an extreme to loneliness. I mean, I'm pretty sure if she just went to that church. I mean, she's going to church. There's all kinds of people in a church.
Yeah,
she just makes all kinds of friends.
Make some church friends.
I think it was something else that was going on with her. She just loved the hunt and the kill.
Yeah. Yeah, we're making too good of points for me to counter. I'm trying to make this old lady.
Right? You keep trying to help this lady out. Don't punch her in the face like you said earlier.
Throw a punch.
And even then towards the end when she does capture Chloe's character and starts she's training her to be her or something.
Yeah.
In a weird sort of way. It was strange. I wasn't kind of threw me back. I wasn't for sure where she was going with that particular part of her plan.
True. But that's I guess here we go again with the loneliness. But I think she wanted companionship.
I think she wanted another serial killer. She wanted to raise a serial killer. Is what she
training
wanted to
a little her.
Yeah. It was like Dexter. It was like the dad training the son to be a serial killer for the right reasons. She was training somebody to be a serial killer for the wrong. I don't know.
Maybe she would send her out to get more victims eventually.
She could be bait for
that. You tell you what, the fact that she didn't kill that other girl and just made her suffer in a bag of lie, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. You want to talk about new levels of crazy. Whew.
Yep, she was an evil thing. She wanted to make her suffer for not loving her, I guess.
Yeah. So Francis, our main character.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about how she kind of, wasn't the best as far as acting when she wasn't around Greta, but what do you think of the character in general?
I don't know. It just seemed kind of blah. Mm-hmm. I understand why they had to make her the way they did for Greta's sake as the victim, but overall, I don't know if the mother dying thing was really, well, I guess it was important because that's what Greta used to try to become like a
serial way in there, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, it just seemed kind of blah. I don't know. I wish there was more to her.
Yeah, they tried to build some layers with the mother thing, the separated father, her just trying to find her way. But yeah, I have to agree with you. It was
I thought it was weird because she was mad at her dad for, I think he was dating somebody or something like that.
I think that's
he had moved on. Mm. But in the same sort of way, she was doing the same thing the dad was doing by trying to find a surrogate mom in a way.
Yeah, and I think she even did it with her friend as well,
Yeah, so it's kind of, there's all kinds of ways of moving on with your life without being disrespectful to the person you lost. So
yeah.
I think she just couldn't. I don't know. She had layers, but I don't know. I felt like her character was blah.
Yeah, she was very bland. There was nothing that made her. She was very much one of those '80s, not heroine, but victims, I guess, of a serial killer.
And she wasn't really from New York though, so she wasn't supposed to be street smart or.
True, I guess they were saying. Yeah, that was a point. She was seemingly a hometown girl, even though her dad worked somewhere. Maybe he's from the suburbs. Maybe they were from the suburbs because when he came to visit her, he's like, "I'm coming to the city." So I'm not sure if maybe they're. I don't know. I don't know how New York works. But
possible.
Did you find it odd that when she's like, "I just need to get out. Maybe I need to go away," and her friends is like, "Yep."
Would you say the same thing if you had a friend that was staying with you and they had a crazy person stalking you?
Well,
they're starting to bleed over into your life as well.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you make
terrified. That's why she was like, "Yep, you need to go. Bye. I need crazy out of my life right now."
And why would she give their home number? Like, she clearly had a cell phone, but like she gave
because it wasn't her personal number. Like, maybe she was still trying to keep some distance from the person. Maybe like when you first meet somebody, you're like, "You can have this number. I'm never going to be there anyway." So that sort of thing.
Yeah. Greta. There are some very tense moments, very, very standout stuff. Overall, sir, what do you think?
Overall, there are some bland moments in this movie. So I hate to recommend it, and people be like, "Geez, man, this is really bland." But you get some really, really cool moments at certain points in the movie that almost make up for it. So this is almost a watch for me. I can't give it a total because I know people are going to be like, "Oh man, this is just not."
Should we create a new category? Go wait for DVD.
Yeah, wait for definitely don't go to the theaters to see this. Wait for DVD or
instead of go watch
Netflix
it at home.
Or something. Yeah, exactly. But there are some great moments in it. Like I said, that the end does it for me. I mean, it even kind of hints that there could be, and I doubt there ever will be, but there could be a sequel.
Yeah.
It definitely hints at it, and I would love to see some more of
Greta get revenge.
Chloe being like terrorized by Greta. That would just be like, and not really know it. Like I would like to see her like move on with her life, and then she's like doing stuff, and all this little like weird stuff starts to happen. And she's like, "This can't be Greta because we locked her up in a box." And then all of a sudden, towards the end, you find out that it is Greta, and then she's back and she's terrorizing her all over again.
And even throw in like Chloe's older and has a kid now, and Greta's like taken to her kid. I like it.
There's all kinds of good stuff you could go with this, but I doubt, because I don't think this one's going to be successful enough for them to do that, though. But
yeah, it doesn't seem to be. I mean, it wasn't in a lot of theaters. It was one of those, split theater ones, but. Yeah, I agree with you. I gotta agree with you and the Rotten Tomato folks.
The character Greta, though, I mean, don't you think she's almost? I don't think she's quite Hannibal Lecter status, but she's close. She could be in that same world where, like, wouldn't you love to see like a spinoff crazy thing where all these different characters from different movies come together, or even have to face each other, like Greta versus Hannibal or something? That would be insane.
Because she now that you're mentioning that, now that you make that comparison, I just throw all what I said about her being not crazy away. Because when she got her finger cut off, she was like, it was nothing to her, much like Hannibal cutting off his own hand, not really caring.
Right. She just put a glove on. That was it. She was fine.
And gave a speech about why women wear gloves. You're right.
And she was tough. She got like knocked in the head and just got right back up. And then she got drugged, and it was like nothing to her.
And that's another thing. Here's another self-defense class from Kelvin. When you get someone who is holding you hostage down and they appear to be unconscious,
finish them.
Yes, you keep swinging. What did Mel Gibson say to Joaquin Phoenix? Swing for the hills, Meryl, or whatever. Yeah, swing away, Meryl, whatever. Do that. You just do. I kept punching. I punched until his face was mush. You do that because I mean, I get it. You're scared. You're frightened.
I think the whole flight thing, when you're in danger, overrides common sense. So
all she knew was flight. There was no fights.
She learned to run. That was pretty good though. She cut her finger off.
Yeah, that was and then clocked her in the skull. But I gotta tell you, you forgot to pack. Yeah, there's definitely some good moments in this. I guess I'll agree with you guys and say go ahead and wait for it on digital or DVD, whichever you prefer. But
it is a fun watch. It's just not. Yes. It's not gonna break the mold and just change your life or anything. It's just decent.
Agreed. That is Greta. where you can find us. You can find us at gowatchmovie.com, where all the news stories and trailers, I'll try and get the ones Robert mentioned to me today up there, are all there. You can see all that stuff there and listen to the podcast there. But you can also listen to the podcast anywhere else the podcast can be found, of course. Next week, I'm guessing Captain Marvel. There's no guessing about it. That's what's happening.
Pew, pew. I'm excited.
Me too. This one, review's already out there. They actually had to take some back from Rotten Tomatoes because I guess people were just putting stuff up without even actually having seen it. But DC fanboys. But yeah, let's go watch a movie this week. I'm Kelvin.
And I'm Robert.
And I'm Greta. Go watch a movie.